All right, good morning, everybody. Everybody except the Uber driver who decided to cough all over me last week and give me whatever I had that meant I couldn't talk for a week. Just want to say thank you to all of you for the well wishes, the get well soon messages. I very much appreciate it. As you can tell, I haven't remembered how to speak yet, so just figuring that out today. We'll figure it out together. Must admit, last week's video was pretty tough to get through, feeling like I did. The leather I bought for that, so it's a saddle skirting hide, and the guy when I bought it was like, this is the thickest hide I've ever seen. I was like, okay, that's cool, I'll take it. What I didn't know and didn't expect was that it was also going to be the hardest leather I have ever encountered. Simply trying to cut that piece of leather, I sort of hit it in the video, but you notice I switched between knives a few times because every time I tried to use one, it just completely just chewed up the edges of all of my blades. So I ended up switching to the Stanley knife and went through like multiple blades just to cut that piece of leather. 2 cuts, essentially. Now the good news is that belt is going to be pretty much indestructible and is probably going to outlast me and my kids and their kids as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, it did leave me in a bit of a pickle where... Pickle? Never said the word pickle in my life. Bit of a predicament. So I know it's not the most exciting topic, but one of the most important skills that a leather crafter can have, and it's one that I neglected for many years, and I suffered. I paid the price because of it, and it's annoying because if I just literally spent a few minutes or a few hours just learning how to do this properly, then I would have saved years of pain and struggling that I just could have completely avoided. So when I'm sharpening, for the most part, I pretty much just use a piece of leather as a strop on the table. Nice tight grain, nice stiff leather, and nice smooth flesh side for me is the trifecta. All right, so there's nothing spectacular about the way that I'm sharpening this blade. You simply stropping in the direction of the edge, which is what you do with all of these knives you're gonna see. So what changed from when I used to do this? Well, first of all, it's understanding that your strop has to kind of develop over time. You know, there's certain crafters will tell you that a strop is the most valuable piece of equipment in their toolkit. So when you first start sharpening blades, you're trying to work out why it's not sharpening to the point where you want it to be, and it's just because sometimes you have to kind of like bed in the strop before it's going to create that mirror finish that you want. So when I first put this together, I literally spent, I think, 2 or 3 hours. I sat there and I just did this over and over again. I rubbed it. I would then use my skiving knife actually, because as this is sharpening, it's also smoothing the strop because of its shape. So I'd kind of just like use this partly as a way of smoothing everything down, but also as a test because I'm checking the edge and I'm seeing how the strop is performing as I'm going. Now this is an interesting tool. This is a very funny little tool because this thing I think was about $10 US. It's made in China. It's got a rough ground blade, which you would think wouldn't be the best. It's designed as a punch to cut a credit card slot. And when I bought this, I didn't actually buy it for credit card slots. I don't put credit card slots in my wallets. I make individual pockets. I bought this for clipping off the ends of things like wallets or belts. So when you have a wallet, you glue all your layers together, and then just in one strike, I can knock that edge off, and it's going to give you a nice, perfect, clean edge amongst all the different layers of that wallet. But funnily enough, it also makes for a really good skiving knife. It makes for a really good cutting knife. It makes for, you know, cutting the end of straps, for even cutting out my wallets. Now it gets a lot trickier with the head knife. What I use this for the most is belt tips. I don't have one of those fancy, you know, English point belt punches. I might get one, but honestly I like using this for it because I can really nicely just cut around a circular edge in one cut instead of the typical way of doing it, which is death by a million cuts using a skiving knife. Although it's tempting to think that you can sharpen by basically rotating the blade. As I'm rotating it, I'm also pulling it back, because at the end of the day, you're trying to pull in the direction of the blade, which is this way. if that makes any sense at all. Now the last blade that we have to sharpen today is this classic. You would have seen this before. The reason I don't use it too much is because it's so soft. In my opinion, this steel here is not the best tool steel. For that reason, it blunts very quickly. The good news is the soft blade does make it very easy to sharpen, and one time I did actually ended up losing the point on it, and because it was soft, I was able to actually recreate the edge simply by using sandpaper. So I had some pretty fine sandpaper, and after literally about 30 seconds or a minute, I was able to grind this blade down past the point that I'd lost, which I think tells you just how soft this steel really is. But as much as that's a negative, it's also a benefit in a way because I was able to recover it without too much hassle. So your edges, honestly, I've seen people with, you know, cut out pieces of strap that they've decided to run, you know, this part of the edger through to kind of strop both sides. It's just like a skiving knife. You don't have to strop both sides because it's a one-sided blade. This blade does not have a bevel on the inside. If you use this once, it's going to take off that burr on the top. That burr is very, very soft. It's just there from the stropping that you've been doing. So I just strop this the exact same way I would my skiving knife. The only difference being that I'm rolling as I'm going because it's not a straight edge. So I'm actually starting flat and I'm then rolling up to being in line. So you're always maintaining a tangent with the blade, essentially. This really for me is mostly for anything where I'm doing a long, gradual bevel. So inside of a wallet pocket. Now this little plane, I haven't seen many crafters using these. I bought this from Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. It's really cheap, but it's actually incredible. I just can't believe, one, how well it's made. In terms of this tiny little blade, I've used this so much, and I've only ever actually sharpened this like twice. And yeah, this is the same as sharpening anything else that's flat like this. What I like to use this for is if you have a glued edge, mostly on a wallet, you know, something that's going to take too long with a piece of sandpaper, you can use this instead. All right, one last thing that we're going to use this strop for, but we're also going to use another tool as well for this. It's actually a knife sharpener, an old school knife sharpener, where you would take your pocket knife and you would... So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I use this tool for the inside edges, and the good thing about this is you can feel the buzz. So you're only really going until you feel a smooth edge. Like, it's very sensitive, so you can feel, yeah, a little burr there. So when I can no longer feel any burrs, that's when I stop. The outside edge, sometimes I might just use this to do the outside edge as well. I'm gonna go a step further, then that's when I would take this strop and I can just do a quick once over on the outside edge to kind of polish it up a little bit. So the final things are our bevelers. I do have a couple of different types of bevelers. I've got these like long-necked ones. They do the job, but I'm not a huge fan of them. They're not the most consistent, and they're not the best at getting fine corners. This is my just craft tool one, which frankly I think is much better. I think it's a better design. The one brand I haven't really tried that I want to try is the Weaver ones, because those seem to have a really nice tight cutting edge to get those really tight radiuses. There's a couple of ways to sharpen these. You might have heard of the wax thread trick, which is essentially tie one end of the thread around something. Use the thread, the wax thread, as kind of like your deburrer. It's fine. It will take off the burrs. It's not really the best way to actually sharpen the edge, in my opinion. I don't think nylon is really hard enough to properly sort of sharpen an edge. Maybe I'm mistaken. What I prefer to use are these sharpening blocks. Pretty much every leather supplier sells these, and they have different grooves for different sized edges. Just put, 1000 grit sandpaper on that, and then I just pull through. But yeah, that's basically how I sharpen my blades. The trick is knowing what a sharp blade looks like and being able to identify once you've made it, essentially. I think what I was doing before is just stopping too early. For one, rolling edges is a common mistake that people do. If you're coming up to an edge and you let it kind of drag as you lift it up. Very easy to roll an edge that way, and you can strop for days and you never have a good edge. But the most important thing to remember is that any edge, any blade, any tool steel, even the cheapest Amazon Basics beginner nonsense blade, if you know what you're doing with a strop, can be made to be razor sharp. It's possible. It's not about the tool you're using. It's about, I was gonna say it's how you use it, but it's how you sharpen it. Anyway, I got a busy week of projects ahead, so I'm gonna call it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all future videos if you haven't already, which I suspect a lot of you have. And yeah, until next time, take care, and I will see you in the next one.